Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Croatia, which this is the third and likely the final part of the Great European War, as I've been calling it that. Even though there were other actions in other parts of the world, but most of that is confined in Europe, in which saw some horrible, horrible casualties, to be honest. Because these were the days of when war is glorious, but over here in Europe, well, that's take it to the test. But it could have been a lot worse. But it's not over yet. The war has been going on for nearly 4 years now. It started in May of 1754, and already it has taken a toll on our allies, including, the Commonwealth and two Sicilies, Scandinavia and us as well, and even Sweden got, And Ansbach can't catch a break, the smallest nation that used to be under occupation. But however, some are starting to feel it now, with the besieged provinces and whatnot, and war exhaustion. Scandinavia is starting to feel it, but we're still very enthusiastic about it. About as enthusiastic as the Commonwealth, with the relative string of alliances and all that. But for Sweden, there's a chance that they may want to back out of this war. They may want to quit the war because of not only occupied besieged provinces, but there's revolts in Sweden. Revolt? What revolt? Oh, noble rebels. 32,000 strong is 42. Can they really afford that right now? Huh. They're gonna cause some trouble here. Really? This current one, and the heir is of the same dynasty as Burgundy and Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Could this mean that there might be a chance that the Commonwealth would be in a personal union with Sweden? I mean, August Söderlö and Henrik. I mean, same dynasty, but not under personal union. Not yet. So yeah, different one. Well, that will bring them closer. Bavarian, same dynasty as Sweden, Norway, Bohemia, and Mohawks. And Bohemia fought against us. We used to be a monarchy, but we became a republic by the beginning of 1600. Because we felt there was a better system here. Really. Portugal, Russia, Daviet, Heseba, Adrenadoron, Isleta, and Australia are improving relations with Hvrvatsk. Now, for the period of this year, for what I hope is to be the last year of this war, our main objective for this year is to go on the offensive towards Berlin, capital of Brandenburg, who is the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. And which kind of makes me wonder, if we defeat Brandenburg, which that one also provides the largest amount of military in the area, then maybe this would break their will. Their war enthusiasm is up. But the Commonwealth's on their way up to the Danish parts of Scandinavia. So they'll fight them off while we will begin our offensive, since they've all drawn away. And I don't think they have the means to take it off, so we'll get moving. What's your siege skill? 1. Well, let's begin. We'll cover you. It's woods here. And as for them, well, be willing to spend this amount of money to upgrade all these transports into modern standard, and then once they're fully repaired, then some of you guys are going to be sent back to Africa and the East Indies, and even perhaps America too, because I've come to realize about the future of the Croatian series after the Great European War is to continue on the colonial expansion in, like, Hawaii is one direction, kill what parts of Africa is another, but most importantly, North America. Because we came to the realization that, you know, Spanish is a revolutionary country, so is Portugal, so is France. They've all gone revolutionary. Which means they can't use the imperialism casus belli anymore. We're not revolutionary, so looks like there's going to be some free real estate for New Croatia that we can expand upon in future. Yes, I could see that. Yeah, just give them more power by fighting them off here. Native American coalition against revolutionary Spain. Guess they've had enough of that. Let me see real quick. So if you were to expand beyond this point, you could create Croatian Canada colony. So they can help each other out. I could see that. But of course you also have to take the ports here. Should a future Croatian Canada have a future. Intriguing. Again, the naval participation in this war is practically finished. Our allies will handle it here. Whereas we still have plans to, you know, send at least 1 or 2 armies into Singapore as a jumping off point. As a jumping off point to go long towards Hawaii and northern Polynesia. Hawaii and Hawaii are the only 2 independent states. They're allied with one another. But of course there's one more down here, but I don't think they should be bothered. Convenient. Another reason why Hawaii? Natural harbor there in Oahu Island. Really? Develop this more, then we can get to talking. There is value in that area for the future trade company. So yes, I still have colonial ambitions. But all this one day will go to New Croatia, and as well as the creation of Croatian Canada in future for the remaining part of the series, just to continue our colonial empire of Croatia. But right now, war continues, as we will begin the offensive to Berlin to knock them out of the war, and then the rest of the little HRE states until Nuremberg surrenders, and the war will be over this year. It'll be over by Christmas, I can tell you. It'll be over before Christmas. So let's do it. And also, you may want to get down here, make some room. These guys will be kept on reserve. We'll be going offensive. We'll be supported by allies, don't you worry. The rest of them back home need a rest, while more bloodshed is required over there. Question is, can they handle it? Yes, they can. Victorious, Jordan. Jordan, you got him. Again, this war has caused 1 million deaths in this war for both sides, but as stated before, it's just something that we hope we don't want to ever see again. And again, when these guys rest up, and these okay, these are to be sent to Goa in India, Croatian India. It'll be done this year. When it's July, the next building we should build is probably a fortress, because we want to make this the unofficial headquarters or capital of Croatian India. In a hypothetical conflict, they can take this area, but they'll never take Goa, where we could get troops in a hurry. Plus, it's on the hill, so you have the high ground. About to take the objective. They'll get it. This war might end soon. Don't you worry. So we can all go home. Oh, well, these guys can go home. They're already home here. Several members of our parliament are complaining that the costs of maintaining such a large army are too big for our current budget. Well, for 2 years for decreased military funding. Oh, honestly, with the war winding down, and gain a little bit of Republican tradition is always good. Don't want to have any discontent, so I don't want to spend the money, but agreed to make some cutbacks. It's only for 2 years, for the post-war years upcoming. The objective will be taken. The war will be going the Commonwealth's way. Revolutionary Front's now supporting the independence of Australia. Well, it seems they are increasing tensions with Great Britain, as we had suspected before. Nuremberg has taken. So it's only a matter of time before the war will end this year. We just need Brandenburg out of the war. Noted. Also should have notifications with, with friends like these, including Great Britain. Yeah. Just want to turn those on. Think of the world's great powers. Oh yeah, they're the ones that caused discontent. Perhaps we ought to do the same thing. Because they're our enemy. The general itself, Horvat's no longer served us. While he never flinched in the face of danger, it was old age that eventually got to him. Our troops will greatly miss his attention to their health. He was the battlefield medic, yes. I remember. Supposed to repair him faster. About to be some combat in Switzerland. Prepared defense. Let the word go round to every village, hamlet, and town that no support should be offered to the enemy. Any attempt to take the enemy's corner will be punished when victory is won. Let no one be in doubt in our resolve to see this done. Spread the word. That's for 10 years' effect. Adding attrition to enemies should anybody that comes here. Doubtful. Because if they do, we'll be fighting like lions. All going that way. They're throwing more in there. Can you hold it? They were through. Nope. Had a bit of a disease outbreak out there. So 2 Sicilies will commit. Colony self-sustaining. Korea finished. Adding prestige. Well done. Decline of Cossacks' power. The free nature of the Cossacks and the distance between them and the halls of power in Zagreb has always been a problem for them. Lacking hereditary privileges and the number of Cossacks registered with the state as officers with the benefits they entail have been decreasing steadily. Oh, blast. They were doing well for us. What I hope for the best. Yeah, it's becoming rather concerning that they're coming down here. But not if we take Berlin. Oh, little Ansbach. Guess they're not done with us yet. Commonwealth's coming in to save the day. Australia declared war against Great Britain. Colonial independence. The French. They've done it again. You did this. Great Britain. France, namely, but it's Australia. so to speak. Australia is at war with Great Britain and the loyal colonies of West Indies, English Brazil, and as well as allies of Haiti, West Indies, Netherlands, which is next door, and Carib. And Great Britain is at war with Australia, revolutionary France and their colonies, Portugal and their colonies too. Now this is a world war over there. But I fear that the French have the power to... Well, so do the Dutch. And already they've engaged Hamburg and Bremen. No, separate conflict. They're in two wars. I know I'm in the middle of a war, but yeah. I would intervene on Britain's behalf. So Australia, this part, and mostly of modern New Zealand, they want to be free. So it was France and Portugal and English Columbia. Say English Columbia, can't forget. They want to be free from it. So they're in a major war out there. Send 2 armies. We are to engage them. Stop their advance. Mamluks a great power again. No time for that. You're going to India. Gonna drop you off at Goa. That'll be your unofficial garrison. You know, that land enforcement is starting to become an issue, so I suggest you build a conscription. Next year we'll build a fortress. Just follow them along that trail. We'll catch them. Getting left behind. Don't get too overzealous. Wait for reinforcements. Okay, we'll be bringing some artillery, but there's a lot of infantry and cavalry that'll be coming along. Finally. Improved force march. Force march costs no power. Very important to have. Let's go. Drive them out. Why hasn't Berlin fallen yet? Do they have defensive ideas? Is Brandenburg? Yes. Yes, they do. Ooh. Now we got someone better. So they have more discipline than we do. We got him. Yeah, we sure got him. Head back to there. And Berlin still has not fallen. Throw the bodies in there. Bring it down. I was about to say that's what forced march is for, but you get it. Just throw everybody in there. 100% chance that they'll surrender. No more, no less. Bribes are not an uncommon practice. With the right amount of money, we could perhaps manage to influence the colonel to infiltrate a religious order. Instruct them to go forward. They will be done in a couple of days. And now this war's entering into its 5th year, apparently, but you did say you want this to be over before Christmas. Well, there's a little chance of that happening now. 321 days. Stubborn bastards. Stubborn bastards. Well, you're going over there next. We'll cover you. But again, we still have plans for the soldiers' households that's needed in other areas throughout the Balkans. Hey, you're supposed to get over here. Don't get too left behind. Okay, you've dropped them off now. Return to the Balkans. Get ready to pick up one army that'll be sent to the East Indies. It's basically a way of saying any volunteers willing to go. Should have sent Gregobla guide to the front. But might as well. He knows the siege better than Stipe, apparently. Move him. Being transferred. This army isn't as drilled as it used to be. But it's possible these are the ones that'll be sent to America and all that. But I can't guarantee everything. Which is fast becoming my catchphrase. Oldenburg is out. Now it's going to start coming down like dominoes. The new pope is loyal to Sweden. Allied to rival, that's one issue. Because you don't like the Carmanese for whatever reason. But let me prove relationships for once, for more papal influence. Oh, it's been a long time. In future, in the 1770s, we'll have a final idea group, but I think I have to do it just like with the Mughals. Go for offensive. My original idea was gonna be maritime ideas. Since we are so intensive on shipping and all that, but leaders about upkeep. Oh, son of a beeswax, that's tempting too. Because I like having a bunch of generals all around and all that. And plus, why maritime is a possible idea? Because, look. Complete maritime idea, one of the following must be true. Is the strongest trade power of any of these. Including Ragusa, where we live. And as well as, all the other places. One of the following must be true. All the following must be true for all of these and all that. And the reward it'll give you is a merchant. That's where we get our fortunes from. Yeah, this place has got a fort up there. Just hang on. Wait for it? Okay. We're gonna go up there and take it to them. Take a river crossing and be fighting in the woods. Don't want to let all the others know. This one's going to be probably the last great battle of this war, knowing that they're cornered right now. Killing their troops would definitely get their war enthusiasm lowered, so everybody else will start quitting the war one by one. Braunschweig is where we fight. Setting Gragov Lagai, the best general of the Croatian army. Profiteering of Johor. Protect the trade, because that is ours. That is our right. That got him. And we'll take this castle easily. Get down there. Stop their advance. Hey, you're one transport short. To get everybody on board. How much is it to build? A lot less. Okay, till this August. Actually, that's what this is for. About to catch him. Oh, not going anywhere. Actually, this is what this is for. Forced march for the first time. Let's catch the bastards. Tariffs on fur. The fur production in one of our colonies is coming to focus. You see that it generates quite a lot of money. Perhaps too much without being properly taxed. In the spirit of mercantilism, we should force them to trade their fur through our ports instead. This will greatly benefit our merchants and add a lot of income to the crown's coffers. No, leave it be. Adding a little more military power so we can get this next. Upgrade the cavalry. Martial educator. Yearly army tradition decay reduced. Really? Trading in clothes. With 28% of the clothes trade, adding more trade efficiency, which means we make more money to trade. As if it's already been enough. Or we're using that money to... Or we've rooted out the corruption, but now it's army maintenance. Because of how costly this war has been. 41 days. Oh, that one's a little more formidable fortress. A star fort. Sounds like a job for Gregor. Okay, it's over. It's all over, folks. Nuremberg was sieged. Over fought the Commonwealth. Brandenburg was sieged. Stettin and Stargrad to Scandinavia. Wolgast was sieged. Slope and Kolberg to Scandinavia. Nuremberg were forced to give 10% of their income in reparations. The Commonwealth and its allies. Yeah. Oh, thank God that's over. And it ended just a month before it was a 5th full year of this war, so we're happy as whatever as we're happy as that it's all over. So it's a glorious victory, but at what cost? That's the real question. So this is the deadliest war of this series so far. Man. It almost looked like the war could have been a stalemate, but have we not did that offensive through southern France and all the way into Paris, I think we might have lost the war with, you know, revolutionary France with their offensive. But should they ever attack any of our allied friends again? Well, you need to bring your A game. So, the Commonwealth lost the most. Scandinavia a great deal. Ansbach a bit. 2 Sicilies suffered a lot. So did we. New Croatia a little one. And that's the total. We've lost a lot through combat, and most of it through combat and some of that through attrition. And lost only 22 ships. We've lost no ships. Commonwealth lost one. Sweden that lost the most, and especially New Croatia. Now over on the attackers, Brandenburg lost this much. The Palatinate lost 50,000. French was a big difference maker. French-Canadian losses, they took none but only ships. Some losses from French Alaska. Very little from Louisiana. Cologne lost 42,000. What's about 32,000? What about them? And there's the total. My goodness. Let there be not another war like this again. Hey, you got money? Thank you. Any more we could build throughout the Balkans? Yeah, we just need to build a lot of soldiers' households so we can prepare ourselves in case if there's another continent-wide war like this. Again, a lot of that's spent through army maintenance. Alright, come back. All of you. Cossacks, you are going to Hawaii. You're going to get a well-deserved vacation. Now the rest of you come down here. Or maybe we should send him instead, not the Cossacks. And don't forget we need to distribute some armies into Africa. Now that we have colonists back again. Where else? There's one more part of Kenya that's untouched. Again, more highlands. But we do have land connections there, so we can fight imperialist wars there. There's only one center of trade there. Yeah, we're sending these colonists. One there, another to Turkana. So that way we will have Croatian Central Africa expansion continues. Spreading Catholicism and all that. And hopefully, I mean, livestock or tropical wood is likely, but we got lucky with the gold one time. And what about over here in jungle? Well, that's same chances. These are full highlands, not jungle. You were looking at monsoon and tropical. And what resource do they have up there? Fish, salt, iron. Pretty good, but that gold. The gold is where you get everything, including over there in Kilwa itself. One day we will attack them, but unfortunately the independence is guaranteed by revolutionary Spain, so they can't be touched. Saklava, however, they're defenses, but revolutionary Matapa, which is a very small entity, that won't even matter. Taking over the rest of the Madagascar would be good for the company, but resource-wise, it's just full of slaves. And of course, one of these days, since you control too many areas, that's going to have slave trade goods. But if we elect the next ruler to be one for diplomacy, then we'll pass the abolition of slavery. That'll reduce the technology cost, which is something that's needed these days. But the abolition of slavery would hurt the national tax modifier a bit, but we're more reliant on trade and production these days, especially trade. And of course, if you get rid of slave trade goods, the producing slaves, they will be replaced by entirely new trade goods, whatever it may be. It'll be randomized like these out there. Of course, Colonial Army stays. While we've sent them to, you know, Goa as garrison duty, basically. Whatever wars that you'll be fighting in the future, hopefully they'll be small and not too long. So again, new Croatia expansion, and then eventually Croatian Canada. French aren't going anywhere anymore. But we will. You could stop force marching now. All I could say is, hey, you're the one that's going to be going to Hawaii. Get... Oh, my mistake. Wrong port. Okay. Be stationed to Singapore for a while till you fully recover yourselves. And then we'll send this fleet to blockade Hawaii. And as for, you know, that other ally over there, don't be too concerned. You're simply gonna fight an occupation war. They got no fortifications except capital forts. Farm estates. They're not too well developed themselves, and one's a kingdom, the other's a grand republic. Interestingly, where do they get such ideas from? Conscription center will be built in Goa, then we'll build a fortress over there. Which will take years, but it'll just to make damn sure that Vijayanagar, if they want to take Croatia and India, they'll have to take it with about a fight. They have to take it with a fight. Whatever you're trying to say. And these two armies here will be sent to America. We got a merchant. Wait, what does that mean? Okay, let me see. Well, where the heck did I get a merchant from? Well, regardless where you got it from, you got a free merchant. Ugh, Bengal, what happened to you? Although I could improve upon it, but obviously needs more trade power unless you want to steer it, which is fine. And we do collect a great deal of trade from the Chesapeake Bay, and since we plan on expanding, that means you're gonna have to... Aha! See potential areas to take for the future Croatian Canada. And the Ohio trade node for New Croatia, that'll also help out. But be careful when you give them too much land, because that increases liberty desire. There's some value over in Marcus, so go collect it. Because we do have a company presence over there. Not even much. I would love to develop, but it's better save it up to level up the techs. Munich has become revolutionary. What do these Central Africans think of us? Like, who's allied with who? Rwanda, Nigeria, Dumbaka. When we establish ourselves eventually. Which will make Kilwa tremble, but if Kilwa loses its guarantee from revolutionary Spain, there's our opportunity to attack. And we won't be afraid. But with them in a trade league, which I don't know what kind of fancy trade league they're running there. Eastern Plutocracy. Ah, I get it. The takeover of Croatia and Madagascar sounds like a good idea in theory. If we want to throw our manpower and resources to that. Finished. Okay. This will take 30 months. 30 months is this day, so yeah, it should be fine. They shouldn't attack by this year, I hope. Well, looks like you're stuck there. But don't worry, we're gonna help you expand. Iroquois Confederacy will put up a fight. They're trying to improve relations with us, but I ain't phased. If you want to go that way. For New Croatia. For this part of Croatia, which we'll eventually have to fight for. Part of Canada. And eventually fight against the Iroquois. Which will be a pretty sizable one, that I might add. And don't forget Hawaii. That is a large amount of British ships I see passing through. And a 3-star admiral. Alright, you're off to America, boys. Safe travels. Gonna land y'all in... well, one's gonna be stationed over there and the other will be stationed in Manhattan to prepare for expansions of New Croatia. No one can stop us on colonial expansion. No, not Spain, not Portugal, not France. It's our time. And it appears you have landed. Yes, sir. Alright, rest up a bit. Nobody's touched them yet. And they'll be easy to take out when it comes to fighting in the war. But a little concerned about the Navy, so... you know what? Just in case. Where's the other fleet? You. Head to Singapore. You're the one that's gonna do blockade. Drill a bit while you're at it. Everybody should drill. Any army that I believe that's not gonna go anywhere will be drilled. Just for the time being. Just a lot of traffic moving back and forth. Meanwhile, manpower's trying to recover. Even though we have a bit of a decreased military funding, which will expire in a year. Which we had to decrease the funding because we felt that has Venice always had this part, or am I crazy? I thought it was only reduced to Trento, but no, I forgot about these parts. I guess I must be crazy. Nice going. Okay, they arrived. They're building their navy. These transports will remain here for time being. Or at all. You can always create more armies, but the problem is the land force limit is just not there. After when these soldiers' households are finished, if there's still any room, build some more conscription centers. Oh, hell. Kill at Sokovan Nationalist War. Son of a beeswax. That further complicates our plans. The Industrial Revolution. The rapid pace of technological change is beginning to have a profound effect on the very organization of society. The invention of the steam engine, the use of coke in our production, and new mechanized manufacturing equipment allowed for unprecedented economies of scale and bringing about a massive increase in worker productivity. Further inventions are helping to greatly ease the transportation of large volumes of goods. With global trade as interconnected as never before, factories can both draw on raw materials from and selling the resulting manufactured goods to markets around the world, bringing in unimaginable riches for their owners. Meanwhile, in the field of agriculture, new practices such as crop rotation, the use of enclosures have a similar increased productivity, meaning that fewer workers are needed to work in the same area of land, leading many to abandon their homes and settle in the growing industrial cities. The new world is being born, which the ambitious and the rich shall dominate society as never before. This changes everything. The Industrial Revolution has been founded in Lubin, Commonwealth, just like the Mughals playthrough. Industrialization was founded in the Commonwealth. And here, at the birthplace of revolution, is also the home of the Industrial Revolution. But of course, we can embrace it. But, you know, the issue with that is, well, we're going to be slow to adopt such things. And I'll tell you why is that. We are not quite as, you know, industrious as people think regarding Croatia's economy. And also, on this very day, we have a new cavalry type. Let's see which one. Replacing the Lancers. Thinking. From our experiences and realities of warfare, I think it's morale's what it mattered, so we'll go for advanced Cossack cavalry. Cossacks remained an integral part of Eastern European armies, though neither is disciplined nor is effective in the charge as the heavy cavalry. These light units are specialized in raiding and sniping to disrupt their opponents. Now you gotta get this up next for more trade efficiency and range. First batch of soldiers' households will be built in the coming May. We don't want to rush it. Because we're still recovering from the war, and as well as all the transportation. Gregor Blagai, rest in peace, good man. Died in an accident during the session. Our troops will greatly miss his attention to their safety. Losing the old guard. Me and you now. But of course it'll cost more. Go get him. You are not to begin our combat until later. Remember, the maximum manpower right now is 169. The first batch of the soldiers' households that are complete now give it a moment. Jumped up to 185. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to help us. It's likely we'll get close to 300,000 by the end of all this, if you can afford it. But however, it's going to take a long time to recover it. That's one part. And the other issue of that is, well, there's plenty of reasons for that. number of sailors is fine. What? Genoa? You have become a kingdom. You're not a republic anymore. The heck? That's strange of you. Now they are a full-on revolution. And they don't like revolutionary friends. I don't know who I would dislike more, Spain or France. The better question is, who am I scared of more, France or the Timurids? Clearly still Timurids, yeah. We're vulnerable right now for war, but soon a good portion of that manpower is going to be used for colonial ventures. One moment, please. Alright, you can return now. And inflation's going down slowly. As it is. Including all the ducats that we've earned from that war from Commonwealth. Not making as much money as we used to. And there's good reasons for that. Because we've recently upgraded all of them to fortresses, so maintenance has increased. So we have to pay more. But at least we got this. But we may lose that bonus already. And also next year, that reduced trade regulations will expire, then there'll be a new issue that we have to put in the sub. Hamburg is no longer revolutionary. Where? Over there. What's going on over there? Losing. Canals and turnpikes. Yeah, I've seen this event before. I'll say no to that. Just nothing for the state to engage in, but it's good to know. Got rid of that little modifier, so now you can start recovering a little faster. And I'm gonna be pretty slow to embrace such things, that new institution. It's just I think there's still room for, oh, 4 more of these buildings before I would have to put a stop to that. There'll be no more of that. These are going to be the last few. Make the most of it for the upcoming next Great War, whenever that will be. And we hope that day will never come, quite honestly. What's the governing capacity? Something I also wondered. Oh, you're fine. In times past, it used to be on the reverse side of the coins. Now the Republic rejects such personality cults. If we were to issue a new high-purity coin, we would improve the people's faith in the coinage, and of course all should remember did this. I'll reject that reform. Oh, there goes that inflation again. Has an adverse effect on that. Because fort maintenance, inflation up. That is why we have the Master of the Mint here, who's been around for quite a long time. Quite a long time. Oh, not again. But it hasn't caused any unrest yet, as we are a mostly stable country. We do not have the manpower to wage a world war, but we are willing to continue our colonial expansion when manpower should be appropriate. But I would say get up to around, around 112,000. 112,000. No, 120,000. There you go. 120,000. Yeah, that's when it should be appropriate to go over, because that's how much manpower we had when we fought in that great European war. And also we were stalling for time to get this as well. Adding more trade efficiency. But every little bit helps. And now you have the trade range. What the hell? Oh, hell. Hey, stop drilling. When you fully recover, take that back. That hurts our trade. In a couple of months now. So actually, if you want to get to Hawaii, this was supposed to be launching pad. We weren't aware that there were separatists there. Again with this. We lost the effects of it. New debate time. Let's see. We're doing fine economically. Man, ever since we became a trade empire, it's either that or that. We don't need to reform rotten boroughs. Well, and for you added yearly Republican tradition, which is rather tempting. But still, rotten boroughs in Turnovo, for example. What is that? Autonomy change. Oh, that hardly has effect on. Don't worry about that. No need for another diplomat. Having another merchant is a necessity. But I think, well, it's time for some more trade regulations. This is what we get. So, now let's see, Dubrovnik, Belgrade, and Bjelovar support this. So, Okay, you'll have this. Remember we talked about autonomy? Guess we ought to have that lowered. Wasn't there a building that's supposed to lower autonomy? Yes, town hall. Well, keep looking. I'll take that hit. That too. Drino, boy, yeah. Send delegation to Holy See. Well, I haven't used that up yet, so might as well. And administrative support. There's no rotten boroughs here. So, yeah, give it to them. And they'll come down shortly. In fact, they'll get further down. Athens is rather important. Allow use of the Kremlins. Well, I got plenty of free real estate for them, so you'll get your wish. How much? It's plenty. And you know what? Yeah. Wait. No, your bonuses will be the same no matter what, as long as it's above 50, so I'll prove that. Yeah, spend it. God dang it, one more and then you get a full backing. Yeah, you get the autonomy too. So there you go. Another 10 years of reduced trade regulations. Now get these down. Took no losses. $184, and this batch of more soldiers' households finished, and now max manpower is 199, so no doubt this will get us over 200,000. Who taught you such manners? I could go on a rampage of African expansion down there if I wanted it to, but be glad that my other ambitions lay elsewhere. Such as America, Canada, and Hawaii. Oh yeah, don't forget, we have this to deal with. Retake it. Be careful. Since they're going that way, I suggest you take Dimak back immediately. Crud. Double crud. Develop this a little further and I'll put a castle on it. If it's affordable. They have a point. At least you didn't take too many losses out here. And I suggest you go find these guys and get rid of them. If the luck even bothers. But they're not. Frankfurt's gone revolutionary. Got military access. Hey! Open up. Go to Hawaii immediately. Be there shortly. Because don't declare war before you send transports, because it'll be counted as, you know, an army in exile. Get ready. My goodness, that's a lot of sea zones. If you were to pick a landing site, suggest Oahu. Don't land it on the areas where there's capital forts, because it's going to take time. Yeah. So it would be better because this area's got a shipyard. This has a shipyard. This has a shipyard, and they got a shipyard. Everybody's got a shipyard. Impressment offices, though. That sounds dandy. Naval base and all that. But again, we're doing this because we want to make sure that Croatia is the empire, that the sun that shall never set. Well, we're trying to figure out, where do we start? They just became a tributary state recently. Okay. Hang on. Good God, man. How many tributary states they have? Sounds like we need a third army, because that sounds like all-out warfare. Because if you try to declare war against any of them, well, you are going to have a big time. If you want Croatia, Canada, you need to fight hard. And the army of New Croatia is a bit separated right now, but if it can get up here, it'll be grand. Or just take the easy way and just... You say, when they go to war, they don't get to interfere. Yeah, the dominant tribe out there. But at least for them, this one would be a lot easier. Again, you'd be fighting for all this. Again, it takes 10 to create a separate Croatian Canada, so to do that you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 uncolonized. Really? Nobody bothered? Well, I'll be damned. Count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 7, 8, 9. Oh, 9 would have to be over there or there, because again, Canada region. Yeah, you could see the parts of what states, to be exact. And now you know. Yeah. think we're gonna need a third army from Europe to come over here. It'll be you. But you're gonna have to make a short stop to Tunis first, and then full recovered, and then off to America. But we're gonna have a go-ahead on Hawaii. Give it a go-ahead on that. Because the fleet's already on the way there. And we hope to make a quick resolution of this. So don't go anywhere. Turkana's got livestock. Shaga got livestock. Of course. There's hardly anything of value that would be good for the trade company. If we want to create a trade company out there. Plus that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think it's possible to create an autonomous African colony. It doesn't work that way. Only works if you're in Australia and the Americas. Oh, for God's sakes, start the war now. As you were. As you were. Oh my God. We didn't realize where's what. Go save them. They withdrew. Managed to sink 2 of the lightships yourselves. Turn around and guarantee safe landing. And apparently their army's caught off guard. Just based on what we could see at the coast. Go, go, go. Be there on September. You have the numbers. Got him blockaded. And before the landing, begin your transfer. Heck, I'll be transferred to America. Remember, you're the, the guy. Off to Massachusetts. Right now it's the conquest of Hawaii. Yeah, sure, why not? Even though it's gonna cost us a little more. Speaking of which, not enough presents. Do accept from our old friend Genoa. After 2 days. We're gonna kick them out, and we're gonna sink them. Hold it. Captured 2 of these Hawaiian lightships. These are early frigate types, so it's an old navy, but it checks out. Giving them a chance to move. Is the war over yet? Over in England? No, it's still ongoing. Now they're losing it. It's rather strange to see the Croatian flag, or the emblem, to be on Hawaiian soil. We're gonna go take out your Hawaiian ally. This shouldn't take long. Clergy condemns a philosopher as heretic. A prominent natural philosopher is forwarding new claims that contradict religious truths. The clergy demands that he be stopped and turned over to punishment. Either way, this will cause great turmoil in the realm. Crud. Well, we have to support the clergy. But I don't like that narrow-mindedness of it, but it must be said. Now we would be vulnerable for the spread of revolution around here. Fortunately, Oahu's got a shipyard, but it's not a grand shipyard because they're still behind the times, so it's going to take a little while to repair. A little longer. Red Squadron is passing through. Huh. But they probably knew of the Hawaiian Islands for a long time, but they say, it's like, hey, hey, Velike Britannia, or whatever it is in Croatian. And they're like, Croats in Hawaii, and I'm sure Jacob Cumberland would be looking at it as telescope, and they see the Croatian flag, and the Croatians enthusiastically, it's like, hey, we're in Hawaii, and all that. And they'll be like, bloody Croats. Anyways. Although our relationship with Britain is a bit hokey pokey. I don't know what's the best way to express it, where we could be seen as friendly, but yes, we are of a neighboring heretic religion and all that, because of the colonial holdings and all that. Border friction because of the said colonies, but you're of that church and we're still loyal to the old Catholic faith, as Croatia is true to life. Get out there. Taken the big island of Hawaii itself. Now we must go up to Kauai. I'm not terribly worried about this other island over there. Far away from here. Not concerned with that at all. We sunk them all. Now get back to Oahu. Finish your repairs. Just taking our sweet time island hopping. You just wait. Aloha indeed. Hang on. Gotcha. We captured 2 transports. Add them to the fleet. Actually, no. They're going to the Line Islands. Stop them. One big concern. We can't take Midway Island. That's Portuguese area. See? That's Portuguese land. If they were no, they can't be independent. It's part of theirs, whether they like it or not. Really? Nobody touched that? It's not going to be a colony because it's not enough. You need 10. Whereas we still have plans for America that we need to, you know, escalate on the upcoming, you know, offenses. While our manpower slowly recovers, so a little more, as we're already using it for the Hawaiian conflict. We're going to chase them now. I think I know where they're going. Yeah, I know where they're going exactly. Let's begin negotiations immediately. The big island of Hawaii will not be ours, but wait a month. Hang on. Okay. Now, full annexation, and no one's gonna tell you no about it because you're isolated from the rest of the world, so no European can tell me what to do. Oh, wait a second. Look. Queensland pillaged by Great Britain. So that means war is over. Australia will not get its independence. Australia will remain a crown colony of Great Britain. Australian rebellion is over. Now, the full annexation of the big island of Hawaii. It is now part of Croatia, but it'll be part of the another trade company and all that. Don't need a court. Is this all you got? I mean, after all, they were technologically behind the times, so who are we to question them? Another country gone revolutionary. 100 days. They won't accept this. Very well. Well, we got a new place to transport. Now we're going long. Over here. Fiji Basin. Follow them. The term is up. Should I or should I not be re-elected? Because I've been having a time of my life. But if you lose 18, that'll be down to 70 Republican tradition. And if you lower that, well... that reform progress growth, which... honestly, if you're going to get next tier, you ain't going anywhere. It would be nice to have one of these things. But remember the possible idea on abandonment of slavery? We may think about that. That's only if the overextension is lowered, of course. And you're not going to be coring any of those provinces. They're going to be part of the company. A new company over there. Which there isn't any value, but hey, give it a try. But we've been getting a lot lower with this, so go for a diplomat candidate. He'll have to do for the time being. 36 years old, good age. Don't bother. We're going now. secretive. Excellent. That'll stop these bad guys. Oh, what the hell? It might be over sooner than we think. Go land there. The merchant family from Rijeka has come to greatly expand our long-range trade with revolutionary Spain. By successfully establishing themselves in both Madrid and the Spanish hinterlands, they come to be very influential in both our societies, and very rich. This situation could probably make use of. It's for the Ivory Coast. Yes, do that. It means a lot to them. Well, that means we're gonna help them take this area. This is a conquest. 7th conquest? Well, they're gonna finally win this time with Croatian help. Grain prices are notoriously unstable. Anything from the weather where it's grown to incidents hurting the distribution can suddenly cause the price to rise significantly. As a result, one such sudden change, there is currently a shortage of grain in many of our largest cities. Desperate to feed themselves, the common people are directing their anger at merchants who they feel are making good use of this situation to overcharge their wares. The merchants themselves, on the other hand, claim that this is a natural result of the shortage and there isn't simply enough bread to go around. Oh my goodness, do we need to... That's in different places. Including in Goa. Big one. No. We must pay and distribute what bread there is. That's going to give the burghers too much influence, to my liking, but they'll be loyal. If you wish to develop something. Like Hawaii. Because loyal burghers means lower development cost. Hey, you want out of this war? Because I don't want your land. Even if I did, then, the Polynesian Triangle trade now. Otherwise, I would have Tonga, but fortunately, that's under control of British territory. Which still has an old marketplace. Guess they don't see any value in that. But under the Croatian, whatever company is going to be called, there's going to be value in that. Not to mention, naval base has a halfway point to get to America in the west. Or even a potential springboard to, you know, to colonize places like there. But why on earth would you want to do that? So come on, let's help out those islanders to annex that territory. Let me show you how the experts do it. We're going to help you out with this. By all rights, we should not be out at sea for this long. Now get in here. We must return to base immediately. Okay, they're gone, so therefore Hawaii is Croatia. Croatian Hawaii. And whatever money they all have left. And that means more land for the burghers, of course. For the company. And took minimal casualties. I could see it barely on that text. It says Croatia, Northern Polynesia. There'll be no separatism here. We'll make them into companies. Did you see that name? The Croatian Pacific Company. And now you can officially core them. That's why I stalled for time. No separatism. So it's fine. Now get to home quickly. And light ships can join in this part of the Navy. Because you may want to safeguard Demak here from these Majapahit separatists. They're in. Alright, let's go home. And ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the end for this episode. Because in this episode, we will invest a little more in the company here in Hawaii when it's fully cored, and we'll develop it a little more and all that. But we'll see you in the next episode, because Croatia is now definitely a world empire with jumping off points there. And now we have Hawaii, which remained untouched until now. Because in the next episode, we're expanding Croatian America, as well as the future creation of Croatian Canada. Because now we're the new colonial expansionists, as they've stopped because of revolutions in Spain and France and Portugal. We have not gone revolutionary, and we don't need to be. And of course the African colonial expansion as well. We are expanding for more riches. That's the name of the game here, for riches. So we hope you people enjoyed this episode, but until then, so long for now.